Welcome to Engineering Ethics Online. My name is Dr. Mark C. Vopat. In this course, we're going to be talking about both ethical theory and ethics in the practice of engineering. So the first part of our course will consist of a general introduction to ethical theory to give you some sort of background, sort of a basis in basic ethics, what amounts to good ethical theories, what amounts to poor ethical theories and ethical reasoning. And then we'll move on to actual application of ethics in the practice of engineering. Now, the first thing I want to discuss is just how to get in touch with me. I give a number of ways in which you can reach me if you need to. There's my office in DeBartolo Hall. I also have an online office, which I'll be announcing on the Blackboard site. So once you get into the course, there will be information about how to meet up with me online if necessary. Probably the best way to get in touch with me is via YSU email. So if you send it to my YSU email, if you have a question, a concern about the course, that's probably the easiest way to get to me. I often check my email several times throughout the day. And in case you need to talk to me about an issue, you can also call me. I have here my home phone number, which isn't really my home phone number, but it's actually a Google Voice number. So when you dial that number, we'll ask you to state your name, and then that will forward to my phone. And then I can answer, or if you need to leave a message, if I can't take the call at that time. But those are all ways you can get in touch with me. As far as the course goes, there's only one textbook required. That's Ethics Within Engineering, an introduction by Wade L. Robison. It can be purchased at the bookstore. You can also order it through the Blackboard site. So Blackboard has instituted a new sort of plug-in for bookstores. So if you go to the course link, if you haven't got the textbook already, you can actually purchase it directly from the Blackboard course site. The software requirements for the course are pretty standard, just the same as you would need pretty much for any other course on campus. Word processing software, Word, Pages, OpenOffice, or AbiWord. For those of you who might, for some reason, still be using Microsoft Works, I prefer if you don't use that and find sort of a standard word processor or one of these free alternatives. When it comes to assignments, I accept a number of different formats. So for the 2 assignments you'll be doing in the course, you can submit those to me as plain text documents, as Word doc or docx, rich text, the RTF, or PDF. All of those are perfectly acceptable ways to submit, and you'll be doing all those submissions through the Blackboard course site. So rarely will you have to email me anything directly. All of this should be done on the site. Now, I do have some recommended software. As far as browsers go, I found that since we'll be doing a lot of multimedia, there will be audio and video components of the course. Firefox, Safari, or Chrome are probably the 3 best browsers. So for Apple users, Safari, also Firefox 4, both Mac and Windows, is also very good. And Chrome seems to handle the multimedia aspects of the course. So as I said, one of those 3 packages, if you're using an older browser, you probably are going to want to download one of these 3 to your machine and use that when doing the coursework. And the requirements for the course are fairly straightforward. There will be quizzes. There are 10. The majority of them are 10 points. There is one 20-point quiz for a total of 110 points. There are discussion posts that you will be doing along with each of the modules. There are 10 of those, 5 points each. And then there's 2 written assignments worth 20 points each. So the total amount for the course is 200 points total for the course. Now, for those who haven't taken an online course before, perhaps you have taken an online course but maybe didn't do particularly well, one is you should have all received a course checklist. If you have not received it, it's also available on the Blackboard course site. This course checklist has due dates for each of the modules. It has a literal checkbox that you can print up the sheet and check off as you complete parts of the course. Contact me, the instructor, as soon as you're having some difficulty. So if there's a problem with the Blackboard site where you can't see the videos, or you can't view the videos, or you can't get the audio, or you're not seeing the assignments or the modules, please contact me immediately. The first week of the course, you should be going through and actually checking to make sure that everything on the course works for you. So you should be sort of playing around with the course. But please contact me right away. And if you're having difficulty with the material itself, also don't wait until we're 3-4 weeks into the course. Contact me immediately if there's something you don't understand. You can also obviously come see me during office hours or call me. Regularly check for course announcements on the Blackboard site. There's a link to course announcements. I will often put up announcements about perhaps problems with the modules. Sometimes the videos that we show are actually contained on YouTube, and sometimes for various reasons there might be a problem. So I will announce to the course if there's an alternate link or an alternate video to watch. I'll also put up their comments on the discussion posts. So I won't be responding individually to all your discussion posts. I often put general comments about each of the discussions after they've been submitted. So the course announcement section is a good place to check whenever you log into Blackboard. You might also want to check your Blackboard mail. I will occasionally use this, but for the most part, I will be emailing you directly to your YSU account. So if there's something essential that I want you to get, I'll send that directly to your YSU mail. And contribute to the general discussion board. So along with the discussion posts that are a requirement in the course for each of the modules, there's also a general discussion area where students can interact with each other. So it's a good place for students to post a question that they might not necessarily want to send to me, but want to talk to other students. I also go through there and we'll look, and if there's things that I can help out and answer, I'll sort of on occasion go in there and check and see what the discussion is. But that's also another way that help you get through the course. So what I want to do now is take a quick tour of the Blackboard site. So for those of you who've used Blackboard, this is going to be repetitious if you've seen this before. If you haven't, then this might be helpful for navigating around my particular course section. So here we are at the login screen for Blackboard. This is the ysu.blackboard.com starting point, which I'm assuming all of you are familiar with. So here I'm just simply going to log in to the site. And you see this is the first page, and yours should look something like this when you log in. So these include all the courses that I have. It has announcements and things. So this is my sort of landing page for Blackboard. You can come up here and click on courses, and this is a list of all the courses that you are in. These are the courses that I have instructed or was an instructor for, or currently an instructor. So you see here I've got engineering ethics, and once you go into the engineering ethics site, you're going to come to the module page. Now when you first begin, you probably will start here where you see the video that you're now watching. In terms of what you'll be working mostly in the course will be on the course modules. So each of these modules is listed on the course checklist and on the syllabus. So you see you start with Module 1 after you've watched the start here. Module 1, Moral Relations. You'll notice that I've listed here the learning objectives for the course, what to do, when to do it. So this is the order. The order for most modules is going to start by doing a reading. Now in this case, I have sort of an introduction to what is morality. You won't find this in the readings, but this is just an introduction. Watch what is morality. Then you can read the introduction to the engineering book, and then watch the moral relations lecture, complete quiz 1, and when you're done with the quiz, then you can go and do the discussion. So the discussion should be the culmination of all that you've done in each of the modules. In that, at the time you come to the discussion, you've already read the textbook, you've watched the video lectures, you've taken a quiz on the material, and now we're sort of asking you to sort of think about all of that and then answer the discussion or discuss a particular topic that I'll show you in a moment. So you see here that I have the what is morality and the engineering moral relations. And again, engineering ethics chapter 1, basics and background. This is the quiz, and then module 1 discussion. So again, everything is sort of set for you. I go into the discussion, for example, and then you would create a thread. So you read what was asked, create a new thread, and then begin discussing whatever that topic was. So if I go back here, you'll see that the professional engineer, consider the following aspects of engineering. Do any of the characteristics of engineers conflict with each other? So here are all the characteristics. You would read this, and then you would sort of give your opinion based on the material that was covered in the course. I've also enclosed here some non-closed caption lectures. So if for some reason the links here aren't working correctly, then you can go down and get into the lectures that I've just simply posted on the Blackboard site. They're the same exact lectures. The only difference is there are no closed captions captioning here. And you can see there's already starting. Now, if I go over here, you can see you can get to certain parts of the course and go back to, of course, the course modules. And each of them are pretty much the same, almost identical, in fact, in terms of their setup. So it's listed here in Module 2. You'll be talking about cultural relativism, subjectivism, religion, and morality. In this case, there are no readings for this. This is all just material I've placed up there for you. Moral theory, this you'll find in your textbook. So it's at this point you start working in the textbook, utilitarianism, deontology, contractarianism, and so forth. And so this just gives you a quick sort of reference to what's in each of those modules. I've also included in here the assignment. So Module 8 is written assignment 1, Module 11 written assignment 2, and then there's an optional extra credit assignment as well. And that will be down here at the bottom. So you've got that. You can go through, you can go right to the discussions. This will give you a list of all the discussions. So these are also contained within each of the modules, but if you want to go right to the discussion, and you can read what it is you're supposed to be discussing for each of those modules. Here's where you can purchase course materials. You've got some additional tools. There's information that's provided by Blackboard. Most of this you probably won't be using. We don't use the blogs or anything for this course. But again, you have direct links to the extra credit, to the messages window. And as I mentioned in the introduction, you also want to check this announcement link. So as you see here, I've already posted, this is sort of a standard post, what makes for a good discussion. Here's what I'm looking for. So if you have questions about that, here's the first place you could go to look. In Module 4, I've already noted that there's a problem with one of the YouTube videos because of a movie clip that I've put in there. So in that module, you're going to be watching the non-closed caption version. If you do need a closed caption version, please contact me, and that's taken care of. But again, this is all in the announcements for you. And that's pretty much what you need to know for the course. So once you come in and you start doing the course modules, everything is pretty much laid out right for you. And if you're following that checklist, it's very easy in terms of due dates. You know when Module 1 is due, and Module 2, and Module 3, and all the materials are all self-contained. So everything you need is pretty much right within that module. And you just go in order, assuming, of course, you've done the readings and then gone through. In this case, this module, you don't have readings. But in, for example, Module 3 with moral theory, you've got readings on utilitarianism, contractarianism in the textbook, and then the video lectures. Well, so that pretty much does it. Go back to the home page here. Hopefully that's enough for you to get started and get moving in the course. So good luck, and please contact me if you have any questions.